A lie keeps growing and growing until it's unclear. Every time we use lie as an instrument to win our way towards our goals, but we didn't comprehend how it will hurt in its long run. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Ayushi Batham, with my group members, are here to present a presentation on Satyam Scam, Indian version of Enron. Here are the group members. Uh, Aishwarya Panjwani, Karnika Agrawal, Nikita Karplani, Priyanka Yadav, Ritu Mukherjee, Sonal Singh Thakur, Yash Verma. Now I would like to call Nikita to continue the presentation. Nikita, please.
Okay, so the contents are Journey of Satyam Computers from Satya to Asatya, India's growing success, the Satyam Computers, how Satyam Computers became the Indian Enron, truth in numbers, impact of the scam, still in the game, problems and solutions, and lessons learned. Please change the slide. So now let's start with the presentation by having a brief about the case study, by discussing the journey of Satyam Computers from Satya to Asatya. Now, in 1987, Mr. B. Ramalinga Raju started the business with Satyam Computers. It got listed in Bombay Stock Exchange in 1991 and got listed
बेटा
in
निकिता निकिता
yes sir.
बुलेट प्लीज बेटा ये चीजें कवर हो चुकी हैं पहले
Yes
भी
sir, I'll skip this. So it was the
right.
yes sir. It was the fastest growing companies in India and had got several awards.
Please go forward from this slide.
Yes sir, I'm going on. Okay. So uh, as it was the fastest growing economy, Mr. Raju was uh, got interested in real estate market as it was there was a boom in real estate market, and because of which he manipulated the figures of Satyam Computers. For example, if there was profit of 50 crores rupees, he showed a manipulated profit and fake profit of 500 crore rupees. He also was manipulating the sales invoices. He prepared around 7,500 fake invoices to show the increase in sales. Now the point is, where is profit? So in order to show the profit, he was also manipulating the bank statements, and he was displaying the false bank statements to the investors. He was showing that the profit amount is in the bank, but there was no such cash reserve ever. So he kept on manipulating the figures for years. But as the operations of Satyam Computers kept on increasing, the gap between the fake figures and the actual figures also kept on increasing. So it became a huge difference till 2008. Now, on 16 December 2008, Mr. Raju planned to cover this difference by acquiring a 51% stake in Matthias Infra and a 100% stake in Matthias Properties. Now, he claimed that this money will go to the promoters, but there was no such cash exchange because both the properties were of Matya's family only. And because of which the investors of Satyam Computer were not satisfied with this deal. They didn't found it a good deal. So one US investor filed a lawsuit against Satyam Computer on 23rd December, and Satyam was found guilty. Please change the slide. So on 25th December, World Bank demands a full disclosure of financial statements to Satyam Computers, because of which Mr. Raju quit the just dropped the idea of taking the acquisition in both the companies, because of which the directors started quitting the company, and because of which the promoters stake fall from 8.64% to 5.13% to 3.6% respectively. Now on 7th Jan 2009, B. Ramalinga Raju decided to resign and confess the fraud that he has manipulated the figures, and he has inflated the amount by 50,400 million rupees. And then on 8th January 2009, the legal action was taken by the government, and they got arrested. Now, in order to cover the scam and cover the reputation of India, government intervened, and they appointed 5 new board directors to the company, uh, so that to prohibit the complete collapse of Satyam Computers. So this was little glimpse of the case study. Now my colleagues will further tell about detail about the every process. Over to you, Priyanka.
Thank you, Nikita. As to understand the seriousness of Satyam fraud, it is important to understand the factor that contribute to the unethical decision taken by company executives. So, firstly, it is necessary to understand the details about rise of Satyam as a competitor in an IT sector. Arrival. The company was formed in 1987 in Hyderabad by Mr. Ramalingan Raju. The firm began with 20 employees and have a global growth. The Satyam Computer Services Limited was a rising star in India, which work and contract outside the IT sector industry. Indian growing success. The Satyam Computer Services are the example of Indian growing success. Indian growing success are the example of Indian growing success at the as it crosses the revenue of $2 billion. The company offers services in IT sector as well as outsourcing to develop side by side in various sector and grow rapidly and globally. Uh, uh, After this, the company was known as Crown Jewel and country fourth largest company in India with a high profile customers. IT service market. IT service market includes 13,120 technical associate, uh, over 300 customers worldwide in 2003. The market of IT service was estimated $400 million at an estimated annual compound growth of 4.6%. At the point, the IT service importance increased due to the increase in growth of company. Impact of IT services. To compete effectively, the company began variety plans of action that are made up of several elements which help company to give visible high quality IT uh, services in industry in India. The methodologies of business growth impact the internet and on e-businesses by the increase in IT services. Financial metrics. From 2003 to 2008, all the financial metrics of interest to investor, the company grow majorly. Satyam produces 467 million USD dollar in total sales. In March 2006, the company had grown to USD dollar, uh, grown to 2.1 billion USD dollar. The company proved an annual growth rate of 35% over the period with control profit average 21%. The earning per share grew from $0.1 to $0.6 at the compound annual growth of 40%. In 2003 to 2009, the company trading at and trial average in EBITDA, which multiplied to 15.36. Finally, in Jan 2003, at a share price of 138.08 Indian rupees of stock was peak up to 526.25 Indian rupees, which is 300 in share price after 5 years. This all increase in stock and share price lead the company to the recognizable name in global IT sector. Acquirements. Satyam won numerous awards for its growth, accountability, and governance. In 2007, sorry for the disturbance. In 2007, Mr. Ramalingan Raju awarded Entrepreneur of of the Year by East and Young. In 2014, in 14 April 2008, Satyam awarded for MC Consultant for the leader of CG and accountability. In 2008 September, Was awarded for a Golden Peacock Award, Global Peacock Award for global excellence in corporate accountability. Thank you. Now, next slide will be conducted by Ayushi.
Mute yourself.
Sorry, sorry.
Aishwarya, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. So the next topic is how Satyam became the India's Enron. In order to understand the depth of the topic, we should know what all factors contributed to the scam. So the first one is inflated cash and bank balance. Mr. Ramlingan Ahuja inflated the bank and cash balances of rupees 5040 crores, and accrued interest of 376 crores was shown on the non-existence balance. An understated liability of rupees 1230 crores was against the actual revenue reported of rupees 2112 crores was considered. This all resulted in the artificial cash and bank balances giving up. Satyam overstated his income nearly every quarter over the years to in order to meet the expectations, and also falsified its banks and cash balances. And the next is fake invoices and bills. So Satyam created 500 fake invoices and bills and created fake bank statements to show the overflow of the cash. And over the years, the bills of fake clients were also made, and they were never paid, and showed in the showed in the overstated due from and showed as overstated its due from the clients. Satyam's head also created fake customer identities and generated fake invoices against their name, and to inflate the revenue, and made fake board resolutions to obtain loan from the company illegally. Third is showing fake and underutilized employees' accounts. Satyam created 6,000 fake employees' accounts under their name, and the the company deposited money in the accounts, and the money was taken by the Mr. Ramlingan Ahuja, it was used in the scam. The employees that were not existing in the company also had their accounts registered, had their accounts with the Satyam. The fourth one is manipulation of the company accounts. Satyam's scam was illegal and unethical, in which the computers were used very cleverly to manipulate all the accounts, and inflating the cash and bank balances, falsifying all the transactions, and making fake accounts of the employees, and creating the fake customer identities. And it also showed the overstated assets on Satyam's balance sheet by 1.47 billion, and under reported liabilities were also recorded. The fifth point is misinformation and misleading to investors. It was told to the investors that they have their accounts, and the banks, and they were displayed the false bank statements, and they were told that they had their cash reserves in the bank, but there was no such cash reserves, and they felt cheated and lost at the same time. So the next slide will be continued by Sonal. Over to you, Sonal.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Greed for money, power, competition, success, and prestige compelled Mr. Raju to ride the tigers. Now, I would be explaining truth in numbers and all the fraud which were made by Mr. Raju in balance sheet and income statement. Mr. Raju confessed that Satyam's balance sheet and income statement on September 30, 2018, it contained a lot of irregularities as shown in the slide. He faked the figure to the extent of 5,040 crores of non-existing cash and bank balance against rupees 5,361.
Even he reported accrued interest on bank FDs with 376.5 crores of accrued interest, which was shown in the books of accounts. Even he understated liabilities by 1,250 crores, which were not shown in the books of accounts. Even he overstated debtors by 490 crores from 2,161 crores to 2,651 crores. Even Mr. Satyam reported that he has reported revenue as 2,700 crores and operating profit as 649 crores. But the actual figures were 2,112 crores and operating profit at 61 crores. Mr. Raju even confessed that he has created 6,000 fake salary accounts over a period of time. Even the company's global head auditor has created a lot many fake customer identities and fake invoices in order to inflate the revenue. The gap reached to an unmatchable proportion where every attempt made by Mr. Raju was failed. It was like riding a tiger without knowing how to get off. Mr. Raju even thought of acquiring the deal. It was a last and final step which was taken by Mr. Raju, but ultimately it also got failed, due to which he confessed his fraud in number. Mr. Raju even told that neither he nor any managing director had been financially benefited from this inflated amount, and none of the board of directors had any knowledge of the same. The fraud took basically to list their funds into real estate investment and increase their to keep a high earning per share and raise executive compensation and huge benefit by selling their shares at the inflated price. This is how he manipulated his balance sheet and income statement. Now I would like to request Karnika to continue further.
Thank you, Sonal. So now I'm going to tell you about the impacts of Satyam scam. So the first one is fall from grace. Before falling from grace by admitting to the biggest accounting fraud of India, Mr. Ramalingam Raju was the poster boy of Indian IT industry. But immediately after the news of this scam, it took a direct hit to the share price of the company, and in a span of 23 days, starting from 16th December 2008 to 7th January 2009, the share price dropped to 39.95 rupees as against 226.55 rupees, which is about 78%, and the Sensex also fell by 7.3%. Share price of Satyam Computer dropped to 11.50 rupees on January 10, 2009, which is their lowest level since March 1998, compared to the high of 544 rupees in 2008. Deals made with Merrill Lynch decided to end their engagement with Satyam Computers, and New York Stock Exchange stopped trading Satyam stock. Also, Indian Stock Exchange decided to remove Satyam stock from one of its index. Indian authorities arrested Mr. Ramalingam Raju and his support system, which were his brother Mr. B. Ramaraju, company's former managing director Mr. Srinivas Vadlamani, its CFO, and the head of internal control audit, also several auditors of PwC, against the criminal charges of fraud. The fraud committed by the founders of Satyam Computer was a evidence of the fact that science of conduct was shaken by human greed, ambition, and power, and hunger for power and money. After all this, we can say that it was like a roller coaster ride for Satyam Computers. The stakeholders of the company were highly impacted and became the victim of the scam. The first victim of the scam was their employees. The employees were severely impacted as they were concerned about their jobs because of non-payment of salary, layoffs, and project cancellation. They also faced sleepless nights as they felt morally, financially, socially, and legally helpless. Moving forward to the second victim, that were the clients of Satyam Computers, for example, Cisco, Telstra, and World Bank, eventually lost their trust and canceled their contract with Satyam Computers and preferred to go with other competitors. They were also worried about project continuity, confidentiality, and cost overrun. Next is shareholder. Immediately following Raju's confession, it took a direct hit to the share price of the company, and shareholders lost their valuable investments as the share price fall by 78%. Also, there was a doubt about the revival of India as a preferred investment destination. Next were bankers. As we all know that Mr. Ramalingam Raju manipulated the accounts of Satyam Computer by showing fake figures and fake cash reserve in bank, and that raised the question on bankers. That's why bankers was concerned about the recovery of financial and non-financial exposure. Last was Indian government. Fraud does not just look bad on a company, but it looks bad on a whole country. And this scam has ruined the reputation of Indian IT sector. That's why government of India was worried about its image of the nation and lost faith of the investors, because investors were scared to invest or to do business in the country. That's it from my side. Now I would like to invite Ayushi to continue further.
Thank you, Kanika. Now I will be discussing the main reason the Satyam computers were still in the game. I will be discussing on government role, the auction process, and tech acquisition of Satyam by Tech Mahindra. Uh, as you all see the impact as discussed by Kanika, so Indian government acted quickly to save Satyam computers to the same fate that might Enron. So the government will begin the investigation and made a decision to replace Mr. Raju entire board because it's a great shock. It's given by a Satyam computer to the Indian establishment, uh, Indian establishment, and indeed this is the first time when government is superseded a to private corporate board. But Satyam is not any other company, is not more than any old company. It's long been seen as a new icon for new Indian economy. While investigating, the government limiting its direct participation because it did not want to appear like to covering the fraud the main reason for appointing the new board members to sell the company within 100 days to devise the plan. So the new board members starting meeting with bankers, lawyers, accountants, and other government officials, and also they hired Goldman Sachs and Evidence Capital to fast track the sale of the company. By the mid-March, auction process was held, and several major players of IT field have gained confidence in Satyam operations. So the SEBI appointed a Supreme Court Justice Barucha to see the transaction in order to instill trust. And the so the several auction so the several bid was done on Satyam on April 13, 2009, but the winning bid was placed by Tech Mahindra, which went on to buy Satyam for one third of its value before the fraud was revealed. Both Tech Mahindra and Satyam are fully aware of the fraud. So after the successful process of auction process, there will be no further investigation done by Indian government. And as the part of Tech Mahindra, the and again stock were as the part of Tech Mahindra, stock has again stabilized, and the Satyam on its way to a bright future. Now I would like to request Ritu to continue the presentation.
Now I would be discussing about the problems and solution. First is failure of corporate governance. Corporate governance refers to the system of rules, practices, and the process by which a company is governed. Corporate governance also involves how a corporate is deducted, controlled, managed, and is accountable to its shareholders. It also involves shareholders, its employees, the management, and the government. Ironically, Satyam had won the Golden Peacock Award for excellence in corporate governance. So the problem lies within in the unethical conduct. The unethical conduct was one of the major problem which due to which the inadequacy of corporate governance was highlighted. The false books of accounts showed a different picture of the financial statement. The the investigation detailed that how Satyam had deliberately paid taxes on the account of non-existing accrued interest, which was a considerable loss for the company. This was done due to that because they wanted to suppress the deduction of that non-existing fixed deposits on account of the profit that they had shown in the balance sheet. This was all happening in front of the top management, and they chose they chose to remain a spectator and not say anything in this case. The independent directors should have asked that why the company was sitting on such a huge pile of the cash. The true role of the internal audit committee is to ensure transparency within the company and and to provide a true picture of the financial statement and the financial disclosure without any false claims. Now, the role of the auditors. One of the biggest auditing firm, or should I say that this firm is regarded among the big four auditing firm, that is PricewaterhouseCoopers. It has audited Satyam for nearly 10 years and had failed to detect the scam. PwC is equally responsible for the fraud as it had signed all the financial statements. The auditors at PwC had didn't verify the bank statements as what had Satyam claimed to have the deposits in. Whenever Satyam would require any additional income to meet the requirements of the analyst, it would create fictitious sources. It continued to happen over several years under the nose of PwC. The failure of PwC can be verified by the fact that Merrill Lynch, an investment banking company, had detected the fraud in merely 10 days. So, and also, PwC was paid 430 millions for the services being rendered, which was thrice as what is being paid to other auditing firms. That's all from my side. Now, I would like Yash to further continue the slides. Over to you, Yash.
Thank you, Ritu. Now I am tell about you for lesson learned. More scams like Satyam can be avoided if auditing firm is honest. Global auditing firm Waterhouse Coopers PwC audited Satyam's book from June 2000 until the discovery of the fraud in 2009. Several commentators criticized PwC harshly for failing to detect the criticized PwC harshly for failing to detect the fraud. Indeed, PwC signed Satyam financial statement and was responsible for the numbers under the Indian law. One particularly troubling under the concerned the $1.04 billion that Satyam Indian concerned claimed to have on its balance sheet in non-interest bearing deposits. According to accounting interest bearing deposits, according to accounting professionals, any reasonable company would have either invested the money into an interesting bearing account. Now, my second point is proper investigation of all inaccuracies. The fraud scheme at Satyam started into a 276 million dollar white elephant in the room. Indeed, a lot of fraud schemes initially start out start out small with the preparator thinking that small changes here and they would make a big differences and is less likely to be detected. Thus sends a message to a lot of companies: if your account are not balancing or if something seems inaccurate, even just a tiny bit, it is worth investigating. Dividing responsibility across a team of people makes it easier to detect irregularities of misappropriated funds. My third point is Indian global image was tarnished. Fraud does not look bad on a company, it looks bad on a whole industry and a country. India's biggest corporate scandal in memory threatens future foreign investment flows into Asia's third largest economy and once booming outsourcing sector. The news sent Indian equity markets into a tailspin with Bombay's main benchmark index tumbling 7.3% and the Indian rupees fell Now, because of the Satyam scandal, Indian rivals will come under greater scrutiny by the regulators, investors, and customers. Now, my fourth point is IT sector suffered down. Immediately, the following news of the fraud is spreading in the market. Merrill Lynch terminated its engagement with Satyam. Credit suspended its coverage of the Satyam and Price Waterhouse Houses Coopers (PwC) came under intense scrutiny, and investors became alert of those companies who are clients of PwC, which resulted in fall in share prices around 100 companies alert by 5% to 15%. The news of the scandal quickly compared with the collapse of Enron sent jitters through the Indian stock markets, and the benchmark Sensex index fell more than 70%.